It is the year 1332, and Ibn Battuta has reached the city of Constantinople after 3 long weeks of travel. As he arrives with his group, he is approached by a royal family member who is waiting outside the walls to greet him.
Welcome to Constantinople, a place that has had a rich history since it was built. Constantinople, originally Byzantium, was the capital of the Roman Empire in the early 300s CE. After the reign of Constantine, the Eastern Roman Empire, or the Byzantine Empire, was ruled from the city. During the 600s CE, our city had a rough time. The population was already low from a devastating plague. To make matters worse, the city was besieged by outside groups. Luckily, all attempts to take the city were unsuccessful. The city was even on the rebound until the Fourth Crusade. Unfortunately, in a history-altering event, Crusaders sacked the city, massacred the people, and then pillaged. Order was eventually restored, but Constantinople has been becoming weaker and weaker ever since. Right now, these walls behind me provide safety for all of Constantinople.
Thank you for that history lesson. I'm curious to know, what are some of your surrounding geographical features that have helped this capital city flourish?
We are currently located on the Bosphorus River, which is considered the boundary between Asia and Europe. Many trade routes pass through Constantinople, and the city is easily accessible to other parts of the Roman Empire. That introduction was long enough. I now believe it is time to welcome you inside the city.
After being introduced outside the wall, Ibn Battuta and his group entered the city and were brought to the palace of King Andronicus III.
Welcome to the King's Palace of Constantinople.
In the palace, Ibn Battuta was greeted with luxury and given the title of guest of honor by the king, even though King Andronicus III was not Muslim. He talked with King Andronicus about his knowledge and experiences as a traveler. Also, he discussed great curiosity to explore the city of Constantinople.
I will give you all your desires, Ibn Battuta. Enjoy the city of Constantinople.
Ibn Battuta's curiosity first led him to the most famous Byzantine church, the Hagia Sophia. Built during the days of Justinian, it is unique in size and shape. It is in the shape of a rectangle with a dome ceiling that is supported by 4 supporting pendantives. The inside is as magnificent as the outside.
Welcome to the crown jewel of Constantinople, the Hagia Sophia Church. It is the central church for Greek Orthodox Christianity and has been repaired multiple times due to earthquakes and raids from surrounding groups. The Hagia Sophia includes many architectural features and designs that are from throughout the world. The floor and the ceiling were
All right, I get it. Let's get on to touring the place because that's what I came here for. Wow, this place is beautiful from the outside. The ornate architecture is astonishing, as well as the immense atop the structure. I was eager to go inside, until I was informed that I must kneel in order to enter. Being the Muslim I am, I refused to kneel, but I can picture the inside being as beautiful as the outside.
I wish I could have showed you the inside, because I believe it is more marvelous than the outside. Are you ready to visit the next place on the tour?
Of course.
After his visit to the Hagia Sophia, Ibn Battuta and his group left the city and went to the market outside of Constantinople in the Genoese colony of Galata. Galata was filled with hundreds to thousands of people trading and receiving goods. Many people of Constantinople used Galata as a trading market because Constantinople did not have a true market or commerce center within the city.
This is the market and commerce center of Galata, which is used by many Byzantines. At its height, 500,000 Byzantines lived in Constantinople and used this market to trade for goods and services that they needed.
Wow, this place has everything to trade for. I noticed that goods from around the world are shipped to here.
Trade is a big deal in Constantinople. Constantinople is considered the bridge between Europe and Asia, so you are correct in that many products from around the world are shipped here.
Not only are the arts of the Constantinople interesting, but the clothing and silks of the Byzantines make me wonder why different people are wearing different types of silks.
The upper class, also called honestiores, wear more expensive imported silks, and the lower class, called humiliores, wear tunics and cloaks that are made from local wool. People of the nobility, like me, are allowed to wear Tyrian purple dyed clothes. Tyrian purple is an expensive dye originating from Phoenicia that only the nobility can wear.
I love the color of Tyrian purple. It looks so luxurious. Also, it looks like women have more flexibility to do jobs, which is different than the other civilizations I have visited.
Women have their own spaces for spinning and weaving. Although their public roles are restricted by the attitude that they should be secluded and not outspoken, they engage in commercial activities and other aspects of public life. Also, women have the rights to child guardianship, independent wealth, and property. I don't know if you've noticed, but the people of Constantinople celebrate many religious holidays and festivals. For example, the feast days of saints. Nikon the Metanuit is an Eastern Orthodox saint who lived in the Byzantine Empire from his birth in 930 to his death in 998 CE. His feast day is celebrated today, November 26th.
What a coincidence that I'm here at the same time. I think it is time to move on to the next place because it's almost nighttime and I haven't yet seen the hippodrome.
He arrived at the Constantinople walls, and before entering, his guide had something to say to him.
This city's very rich history dates back to the times of Emperor Constantine, who built the city of Constantinople. The city was built and updated in 3 stages from 350 CE to 600 CE. The first stage replaced most of the Roman and Greek buildings, which laid down most of the city's infrastructure. The next stage developed when Theodosian walls were initially built. The final stage was influenced by a large increase of Christian churches and monasteries.
Wow, you know your stuff.
Thanks, it's my job. To continue, the Constantinople walls are one of the king's proudest accomplishments because the walls are immense in size and length. As you can see, the walls include a moat, guard towers, and other defense mechanisms.
Sounds like Constantinople walls provide an impenetrable defense for the enemy to get through. Let's continue before it gets too dark outside.
Welcome to the Hippodrome, the social and sporting hub of Constantinople. Built during the reign of the Roman Emperor Septimus Severus, the Hippodrome has been used for public parades, executions, and shaming of enemies. Recently, it has fallen out of use, but the artwork and architecture still paints a picture of how it looked back when it was used, significantly. Look at that. We came just in time to watch a chariot race.
Wow, what a spectacle. The architecture and design of the building, I think, is far more interesting than the races. Out of all my expeditions to many different cities, I have never seen an arena this large before.
As the races continued on and Ibn Battuta's amazement grew about the architecture of the hippodrome, he eventually became bored with the chariot races and the group moved on. As the group was leaving, his guide told him that he was invited by the king to the palace for a nightly meal.
Welcome back to where this day began. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Enjoy dinner tonight.
Thank you a lot for this tour. Your information and history about Constantinople has helped me write my travel journal.
Ibn Battuta enjoyed his dinner with the king. He was given many different meats, breads, and pastries to eat. After dinner, he reflected on his time in Constantinople.
All in all, I found Constantinople a very stimulating place. The king was very hospitable towards me, which impressed me greatly. The people in general were also more educated than in other cities I had visited, which also impressed me and appealed to my intellectual side. Constantinople was truly what it was made out to be, and I was filled with a feeling of wonder.
After the visit from Ibn Battuta in 1332 CE, order within Constantinople became weaker and weaker, and in 1453 CE, the Ottoman Turks successfully took the city and renamed it Istanbul. The visit and journal of Ibn Battuta in Constantinople is one of the last written journals before the city was taken over by the Turks.